Thank you for agreeing to this interview. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions about your perception of women music leaders, specifically orchestra and symphony, women leaders. Have you ever been to a symphony concert to see an orchestra perform?
I feel like I have, yes.
Okay. So did you expect to see a woman or a man conducting the orchestra, or?
I guess I never thought about it, but I think usually you think of men being conductors of orchestras. I don't think I've ever seen on TV or anything a woman conductor.
Okay. And why do you think that? If it's not your own preconceived notions, then why do you think that is the case in general?
That women or
that men are heavily seen as orchestra conductors.
I don't know. Maybe it's a hierarchy in music, with just naturally men feeling like they are just the leader of a group, or that they're best to be in that position. So, and they probably might not be, So I think it's just the natural instinct for men to think that, they should lead.
Okay. Would you be surprised to see a woman conducting a symphony or orchestra?
A part of me probably would.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, it would definitely be something I would notice. Rather than if a man was up there, I probably wouldn't pay him any attention. But if it was a woman, I'd probably take notice of it.
So the first question is, have you ever been to an orchestra or a symphony performance?
Yes.
You have?
I
Okay.
actually used to play in an orchestra.
Okay. Was your, when you were part of the orchestra, was your orchestra leader, were they a male or a female?
Male.
They were male. Okay. So if you were to go to an orchestra or a symphony performance and then see a female leading the orchestra, how would you feel about that? Would it be a shocker, or would it just be something that you just oh, okay, that's normal?
I wouldn't say it's normal, not from what I've seen. I've seen bands, constructors and stuff who are women, but never orchestra. So I would be surprised, but I'd be like, oh, you go, girl.
Yes, I know. I never really thought about that. Prior to today, I was like, oh wow, I never really thought about the orchestra or the symphonies that I have been to. I was like, well, they have mostly been male led. So why do you think that's the case?
I never really thought about that. A lot of men study the history and the foundation of music more than women. Women will play the instruments beautifully, but when do we ever see even as women, when do we ever see a bunch of women going out to study music?
Yeah.
And just solely music, and then classical music, not just shooting to get into the entertainment industry.
Yeah, for sure. So how was your experience being in orchestra and stuff? Did you feel like it was super male dominated, or did you feel like it was a good balance?
My orchestra was very, very well balanced. I just played for my school.
Okay.
But I played the cello.
Oh.
Which is, technically dominated by men, being a bigger string instrument. But I loved it, and I wasn't the only girl in the section.
That's good.
So,
because mostly they try to put women with the viola or something, the violin. Yeah,
that's delicate, but no,
yes,
I didn't want to play that.
Okay.
So,
the interview with Johnsel and Michaela went really well. It was really cool to see their perspective on just orchestra leaders or orchestra and symphony leaders and men or women, I guess, domineering in those areas or not. I definitely wanted to get the perspective of both a male and a female just to see if that differed. But I think we can all take something from that, and just seeing, how women can be, leaders in those areas of music. And it was definitely helpful and insightful to see that Michaela, she had been in that area or in that space of the orchestra, and she played one of the instruments that is mostly known as a male dominated instrument, and she, took that on proudly, as well as other women that she played with. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing the two interviewers, and it definitely shifted my perspective along with the other information that was given in this module.